So today we're gonna deep dive into this story of Jeremy, better known as Van Man online. And this guy went from living in a van to a $5 million toothpaste empire.
Wow.
And we're going to be looking at an episode of the Grind Success podcast where he was interviewed.
Okay.
And we're going to be unpacking how he pulled it off.
Interesting.
I mean, toothpaste from a van.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, right?
Yeah. I think what's really interesting here is that, you would think that there was some sort of master plan behind this.
Right.
But actually his success wasn't really, the result of some meticulous business plan or anything like that. He wasn't even initially seeking entrepreneurial success.
Right.
It all really stemmed from a desire for a personal reset.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Okay.
Jeremy hits rock bottom, sells everything, quits his job, buys a $2,000 van off Craigslist.
Wow.
He's essentially starting from scratch.
Yeah.
What pushed him to this point?
Yeah. Well, he talks about, just feeling burnt out and disillusioned with the corporate grind. He really craved simplicity and a chance to reconnect with himself.
Yeah.
It was less about achieving financial success and more about finding a path that felt authentic to him.
Okay, so I see where this is going.
Yeah.
So he's living this van life, trying to figure things out.
Right.
And then, bam, he's a toothpaste tycoon.
Right.
How did that even happen?
Well, it's funny because it wasn't exactly a straight line.
Right.
From van life to toothpaste mogul.
Yeah.
It all started with a very simple mistake, actually.
Okay.
Jeremy accidentally bought fluoride toothpaste. And being, a big proponent of natural alternatives, he decided to experiment making his own toothpaste.
Oh, wow.
And he just started sharing his DIY toothpaste journey on Twitter.
Okay.
And not with any intention of building a business or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was really just to kind of document his experience.
He was using eggshell powder as a key ingredient.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I'm a little curious about the science behind that.
Yeah.
Did he talk about the benefits of this approach and how did people online react to his unusual toothpaste concoction?
Yeah. So, he explained that eggshells are a natural source of calcium. Okay. Which is, beneficial for teeth.
Makes sense.
But what's really fascinating is how his transparency really resonated with people. He wasn't trying to sell anything at this point. He was just genuinely sharing his process.
Yeah.
And that authenticity really attracted an audience that was already interested in natural living.
So he stumbles into this toothpaste idea, starts sharing his experiments online.
Yeah.
And unintentionally starts building this community.
Right.
What happened next?
Yeah.
Did he just wake up one morning and decide to start selling his homemade toothpaste?
It wasn't like a sudden decision or anything like that. It was more organic. He had already, organically built a following of people who really shared his values and were interested in these natural alternatives. So when he finally offered his tooth powder for sale, it was almost like he was offering a solution to a problem that his community was already facing.
And it took off like wildfire, didn't it? He mentioned selling 100 units in the first 20 minutes and raking in $5,000 within the first month.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
It really just goes to show, the groundwork that he had already laid by nurturing this community.
Right.
He wasn't marketing to strangers. He was fulfilling a need within a group of people who already trusted him.
Yeah.
And that's a really powerful lesson for anyone, looking to build a brand or a business.
So it seems like building a strong community was a crucial ingredient in his early success.
Absolutely.
It's like he had a ready-made customer base before he even launched a product.
Exactly. And it reminds me of...
Hold on. Before we get too deep into that comparison, let's talk about his marketing tactics.
Okay.
Because they were anything but conventional. Memes, viral marketing, even controversial posts.
Right.
He really pushed the boundaries.
He did.
How did these seemingly frivolous strategies contribute to his success?
Yeah.
Especially in the context of building a $5 million empire. It seems a little counterintuitive, right?
Yeah, it might seem random at first glance.
Right.
But it was actually quite strategic.
Okay.
Jeremy understood his target audience, and he knew exactly how to grab their attention.
Okay.
For instance, take the viral meme campaign that he launched. He compared his toothpaste to a competitor's product.
Right.
Using these humorous illustrations and really tapping into internet humor.
Yeah.
And really sparked conversations about his brand.
So he wasn't just randomly throwing memes out there.
No.
He was using them to connect with his audience in a way that felt authentic and relatable.
Exactly.
And he wasn't afraid to be different or take risks which I guess is part of what made him stand out.
Absolutely. It's about understanding your audience and finding those creative ways to reach them. He knew that playing it safe wouldn't get him noticed, so he took calculated risks that ultimately paid off.
It's a good reminder that sometimes breaking the mold and trying unconventional approaches can be the key to success, especially in a crowded marketplace.
Yeah. And it's not just about the tactics themselves, but the underlying understanding of the audience and that willingness to experiment and adapt.
He went from $5,000 a month to $500,000 a month in revenue.
Wow.
It makes you wonder what other seemingly crazy ideas are actually brilliant marketing strategies in disguise.
That's a great point, and I think it challenges all of us to rethink, those traditional marketing approaches and really consider what might work for our specific audience.
Right.
Because sometimes the most effective solutions are the ones that break the mold.
But even as his business was exploding, Jeremy didn't compromise on his values.
Yeah.
He didn't just hand over production to some massive factory.
Right.
He kept things in-house and maintained that hands-on approach.
Yeah, so he transitioned from his van to a warehouse in San Diego. Okay.
But he insisted on keeping the entire production process in-house.
Wow.
Everything was still handmade and packaged by his team. And, it would have been much easier and cheaper to outsource.
Right.
But he prioritized quality and control over rapid expansion.
That commitment to quality must have really resonated with his customers, especially those who were drawn to his brand because of its natural and handcrafted ethos.
Right.
It's a testament to the power of staying true to your core values even as you scale up.
Exactly.
Did he mention any specific challenges he faced while trying to maintain this level of control as the business grew?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He talked about the difficulties of finding reliable suppliers who aligned with his commitment to natural ingredients and ethical sourcing.
Right.
He also mentioned the logistical challenges of, managing a growing team and ensuring consistent quality across all the products.
Right.
But for him, these challenges were worth it.
Yeah.
Because they allowed him to stay true to his vision. So he's shipping hundreds of orders a day, staying true to his values. And it all started with a desire to simplify his life and reconnect with himself.
It's pretty incredible.
That's quite a journey.
It really is.
And what's even more remarkable is that he's not stopping there.
I know, right?
Man has bigger aspirations beyond toothpaste.
Yeah.
Wait, there's more. I thought toothpaste was the grand finale.
Nope.
What else is he cooking up?
Well, he's got his sights set on expanding into a whole range of natural products.
Okay.
Deodorants, mouthwash, hair oil, even soap are all on the horizon.
Wow.
And, his ambitions go even further.
Okay.
He actually wants to get into food production.
Whoa, food production. That's a big leap from toothpaste.
It is.
What's the connection there?
Well, he talked about his desire to offer premium quality meat and dairy products at affordable prices.
Okay.
He sees a real disconnect between the quality of food that's available to the average consumer and the quality that should be accessible to everyone.
So it's still about providing high-quality natural products.
Yeah.
But now he's expanding his vision to encompass something even more fundamental.
Right.
The food we eat.
Right.
It's like that initial desire for a personal reset has evolved into this mission to make a positive impact on a larger scale.
Exactly. He's not just selling products.
Right.
He's really trying to change the way people think about consumption and accessibility.
This is where it gets really interesting. It's no longer just a business.
Right.
It's a purpose-driven endeavor.
It really is. And it shows that entrepreneurial success can really be fueled by something deeper than just profit. It can be about creating positive change and making a difference in the world.
And Jeremy's story proves that you don't need a fancy business degree or a ton of capital to make that happen.
Right.
He started with a simple idea.
Yeah.
A willingness to experiment and a deep understanding of his audience.
And his journey is a fantastic example of how passion, authenticity, and a little bit of unconventional thinking can lead to extraordinary results.
It's truly inspiring, and I bet our listener is eager to learn about the specific advice he has for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Oh, for sure.
Well, let's dive into that, shall we?
Absolutely. Let's unpack those gems of wisdom that Van Man shared on the Grind Success podcast. Let's do it. So Jeremy had a lot of, practical tips for aspiring entrepreneurs. Yeah. And one that really stood out to me was his advice to start on Etsy. Okay. It's a great platform for testing product ideas and getting feedback without a huge upfront investment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Etsy has that built-in audience of people who are often looking for unique, handcrafted items.
Right.
It's a low-risk way to kind of dip your toes into the waters of e-commerce.
Exactly.
Did he offer any specific strategies for success on Etsy?
Yeah, he did. He really emphasized the importance of high-quality product photography and, compelling product descriptions. He also suggested utilizing Etsy's advertising platform to reach a wider audience.
Okay.
But, maybe even more important than all of that was his advice to really engage with customers.
There's that theme again.
Right.
Building that connection with your customer base.
Yeah. He believes that responding to messages, answering questions, even just acknowledging positive reviews can make a huge difference in building customer loyalty and encouraging repeat business.
It sounds like he's really advocating for this personalized approach, even as the business scales.
Yeah.
Not just treating customers like transactions, but building genuine relationships.
Exactly. It's about creating a community around your brand.
Right.
He also stressed the importance of constantly testing ads, especially on platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah. He mentioned that finding that winning ad can literally fund your entire next month.
Yeah.
But how do you even begin to figure out what works?
Right.
Did he offer any insights into his ad testing process?
Yeah. He recommended experimenting with different visuals, headlines, and target audiences.
Right.
It's definitely a process of trial and error, but by, constantly analyzing the data and making adjustments, you can eventually identify the ads that are really resonating with your target market.
Okay.
And then he also cautioned against giving up too soon on a product or a business idea.
Yeah.
Persistence is key, especially in those early stages.
It's easy to get discouraged when things don't take off immediately.
Oh, for sure.
But as Jeremy's story shows, success often comes after a period of trial and error.
Right.
Learning and refining your approach.
Exactly. He talked about, the importance of viewing setbacks as opportunities to learn and improve. Don't be afraid to pivot or adjust your strategy based on the feedback you're getting. It's really a constant process of evolution and refinement.
His final piece of advice was about staying in the trenches. He called it staying engaged with the community. What exactly does that mean in practical terms?
Well, it's about being present and active in the spaces where your target audience is hanging out.
Okay.
Respond to comments and messages, participate in relevant online forums.
Yeah.
Even consider hosting live events or Q&A sessions.
Right.
It's all about fostering that sense of connection and building trust.
So it's not just about launching a product and then disappearing.
No.
It's about actively cultivating that relationship with your customer base.
Right. It's about being an active participant in the conversation that's happening around your brand.
Yeah.
By being present and engaged.
Yeah.
You're showing that you genuinely care about your customers and their needs.
It's fascinating how his story really challenges, the traditional notions of what it takes to be successful.
Yeah.
He didn't have a fancy business plan or a team of investors backing him.
He started with a simple idea, a willingness to experiment, and a deep understanding of his audience.
And he wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo.
Right.
Both in terms of his product and his marketing strategy.
Exactly.
It's like he was constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah. And, he used his personal experience as fuel for his business. He didn't shy away from being authentic and vulnerable.
Right.
And that really helped him connect with people on a deeper level.
And that authenticity shines through in everything he does.
Yeah.
From his product development to his marketing campaigns. It's not about following some formula.
No.
It's about staying true to yourself and your vision.
Right. And Jeremy's story really proves that you don't need a fancy business degree or a trust fund to build something incredible.
Right.
Passion, authenticity, and a willingness to try unconventional things can be incredibly powerful.
It's a reminder that sometimes the most unconventional paths
Yeah.
lead to the most extraordinary destinations.
And that success isn't always linear. You know, there will be setbacks and detours along the way.
Yeah.
But it's really how you navigate those challenges that ultimately shapes your journey.
What stands out to me is how Jeremy's journey really highlights the importance of constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he started with toothpaste.
Right.
But he's not limiting himself to that.
Yeah.
He's expanding into other product categories, driven by that same desire to provide high-quality natural alternatives.
Yeah, he's not afraid to push boundaries and explore new possibilities. You know, he's constantly learning and adapting, which is so essential for any entrepreneur who wants to stay ahead of the curve.
Right.
It's that willingness to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace those new challenges that can lead to the most rewarding experiences.
It's also inspiring to see how his initial motivation, that desire for a personal reset, has evolved into something much bigger.
It really has.
He's not just building a business, he's building a movement.
He's challenging conventional thinking about consumption and accessibility.
Yeah.
And he's proving that it's possible to create a successful business that's both profitable and purpose-driven.
And that's a powerful message for anyone who's looking to make a positive impact on the world.
Right.
It's not about choosing between profit and purpose.
No.
It's about finding a way to align the two. So it's really incredible. You know how Jeremy's story flips the script on what it takes to be successful?
Yeah.
You don't need a fancy business plan or a ton of resources to start.
Just passion and drive and a good idea.
He wasn't afraid to embrace the unconventional.
Right.
Whether it was, his choice to live in a van or his really unique marketing tactics.
Yeah, it was like he was constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And that fearlessness, that willingness to step outside of his comfort zone is ultimately what allowed him to break through the noise and achieve such remarkable success.
It's pretty inspiring.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Jeremy's journey, from van life to toothpaste tycoon, I think the biggest takeaway is this. Don't underestimate the power of a simple idea.
Right.
A strong community, and a willingness to embrace the unconventional.
I think that's a great takeaway.
Jeremy's story is a testament to the fact that anyone, even someone living in a van, can achieve incredible things.
Absolutely.
If they have the passion,
the
drive, and the courage to pursue their dreams.
It's all about taking that first step.
And maybe, just maybe, there's a van man inside all of us.
Oh, I think so.
Just waiting for the right opportunity to emerge. So as you go about your day, we challenge you to think about the lessons that we've unpacked today.
Yeah. What seemingly small idea or skill do you have that with the right approach could blossom into something extraordinary?
What passions are waiting to be ignited?
What unconventional path might lead you to a destination you never thought possible?
Keep those questions in mind, and until next time, happy diving.